'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver, so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, and his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, and then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." There was once a young woman named Mary. She was so delightful and kind. She enjoyed helping her family bake bread and doing other chores around the house. Mary was not only kind, but she was beautiful. Do you know what made her beautiful? It wasn't her lovely hair or her beautiful eyes. What made her beautiful was her heart. She loved God so much that He soon would bless her more than you can ever imagine. One day, a very kind man named Joseph got to know Mary. They laughed at each other's jokes, played games together outside, and cared for one another. Eventually, Joseph asked Mary to marry him. Late one night, while Mary was asleep, an angel came to her.
"Mary, don't be afraid,"
said the angel. Mary was a little shocked and wondered why the angel appeared to her. But she wasn't afraid. The angel was so beautiful.
"Soon you will have a baby, and this baby will be the Son of God. He will come to save the world."
Oh boy, I don't know about you, but I wonder what Mary was really thinking. First, an angel, and then to be told she is going to have a baby? Ooh, let's get back to the story. The angel said,
"Your baby boy will be named Jesus. Do not worry about anything, because nothing is impossible with God."
Mary listened to the angel happily and thanked God for this blessing. So, months passed, and Mary and Joseph prepared for their baby boy's arrival. But they had to make a trip to a place called Bethlehem, because the king wanted to know the names of everyone living in his kingdom. It was a long journey. Mary had to ride on a donkey's back, while Joseph led them to Bethlehem. They didn't have much to eat or drink during their travels, but they finally made it, and just in time, because Mary was in labor. That means she was about to have the baby. "Joseph, we can't keep going. We have to find a place to rest. The time has come for me to have our precious baby boy," said Mary. "Oh yes, Mary. I will find us a place to rest," said Joseph. Joseph wanted to find a place where they could be alone and have privacy. But Bethlehem was very busy that night. "Please, someone! My wife needs to rest. She is getting ready to have a baby, and she needs a bed to lie down on," cried Joseph. There was an innkeeper that came outside and heard Joseph pleading for help. The innkeeper showed Joseph a few rooms. In one room, there were soldiers playing games and joking loudly on the floor. In another room, there were people dancing while a man was playing a flute. "None of these rooms will do. We need a place of peace and quiet. Do you have anything else?" asked Joseph worriedly. "There is a cave on the hill where the farmers keep their animals. There is a room there, but you will have to be with all of the animals," said the innkeeper. Joseph agreed. Yes, the cave will work. And he rushed back to help Mary. Joseph lifted Mary off the donkey and laid her on the hard ground inside the cave. It was cold, and the animals were all around her. And on that cold, dark winter's night, baby Jesus was born. That night, there was a sparkling star that shines so bright, high in the sky above the cave, and everyone wondered what it was. There were 3 wise men who had studied the star and knew that where the star was, the new king of the world was to be born. They traveled on their camels with gifts to bring to the Christ child Jesus, as they wanted to worship him from that day forward. On their way to see Jesus, they met an evil king named Herod, who didn't like the idea of a king who was better than himself. He asked the 3 wise men if they knew where Jesus was, but the wise men wouldn't tell him. The wise men left the king, and on that night, Jesus was born. They arrived to welcome the baby boy with gifts meant for a real king. Along with the wise men came shepherds in nearby fields, taking care of the sheep, who also traveled to see the baby. When they all arrived, they were in awe as an army of angels appeared and started flying around the cave as they sang songs praising God. Hark the herald angels sing. Everyone was so happy. They all worshiped the newborn baby because they knew that he was the Son of God. The 3 wise men gave the new king his gifts, and the stars shined down on Mary, Joseph, and the little baby Jesus, and the world now had hope. Woo! What an amazing miracle! A gift for the entire world in the form of a brand new baby boy named Jesus. Now, I love opening gifts at Christmas time. I love to give presents too. But I always come back to this little nativity scene I have here on my table. And I am reminded why we give and receive gifts at Christmas. The 3 wise men brought gifts to celebrate the most special gift of all, the Son of God, the Savior of the world, the best gift you could ever get. A baby boy was born in a manger a long, long time ago, and his name is Jesus. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, and when you sleep tonight, thank God for sending you the gift of love, hope, and peace, all wrapped up in a baby blanket so many years ago. Oh, let's listen to a special song while we watch for the nativity scene to come together, shall we?
When I was a child, Christmas time, it always made me smile. My family and me, we'd have fun by the tree, while Mama would tell us stories about what Christmas really means. She called it the nativity scene. Mary and Joseph and the baby boy were her favorite figurines. Then she sang loud and clear, Christmas time is almost here. Let's sing a song of hope and joy, the time is very near. A baby boy born in a manger low. Hark the herald angels sing, Jesus Christ the Savior, our newborn King. Now I'm not that child, but Christmas time, it still makes me smile. My husband and me and our kids by the tree, sharing together what Mama taught me. This is what we believe. It's still about the nativity scene, God's gift to us, salvation's hope in a baby so serene. Sing loud and clear, Christmas time is almost here. Let's sing a song of hope and joy, the time is very near. A baby boy Christ the Savior, our newborn King.